Hello and welcome to The Window, talkSPORT's daily transfer show, bringing you all the latest rumours, done deals and stats behind the biggest transfers of the day. Today I'm joined by Ali Tweedale from Opta, who's going to give us the key data behind today's biggest transfer rumours. Ali, we'll kick off with reports today that Man United are set to start fresh talks with Aston Villa for Ollie Watkins. How do you think he'd get on in a Ruben Amorim side?
He's a proven Premier League player. He's ready to go. We know what we're getting from him. He's up to speed with the Premier League. He's scored 15 goals in the last 3 seasons. He's become more of a focused, sort of single-minded goal scorer in the last few seasons, having broken through at Brentford on the left and been changed into a centre-forward by Thomas Frank there. His XG per 90 of 0.53 last season was among the best in the Premier League. It was his highest as a Premier League player. And he is, without doubt, a very, very good goal scorer. Is he an elite goal scorer? I'm not sure. I think he maybe people's minds are sort of clouded a bit by that goal he scored for England at the Euros. Like, what an incredible finish. Absolutely inch perfect through the defender's legs into the only place in the goal it was going to go in. But in general, over his entire Premier League career, he's performed basically in line with his expected goals, which if that was one season, you could say, well, he could improve on that. He's obviously a good finisher, but 5 seasons in a row, he's basically finished at the almost the exact rate of an average goal scorer. He does, though, cause lots of problems with his movement. He's very selfless, he's very quick, he's very intelligent with his movement. Only Brian Mbeumo made more runs in behind the opposition last season than Watkins. So, I mean, if you put them both together, you've got lots of things for the opposition defence to think about with their constant movement. And he does create lots of chances, create space through that movement. But is he the... It turns 30 in December. Is he the up-and-coming, hot prospect, exciting sort of signing for the next 5-10 years that United need? Not entirely convinced by that.
United have also been linked to Benjamin Šeško from RB Leipzig. 13 goals in the Bundesliga last term, but what sort of impact would he have if he ended up at Old Trafford?
Yeah, he outperformed his XG a lot last season. It was by 2.7. He's overperformed compared to his XG, but his which is obviously a good thing, shows he can finish. I mean, some of his goals, if you want to go on YouTube and just watch the kind of goals he scores, is the best way of seeing just how someone does overperform against their XG, because he can shoot from a long way out. He's got an amazing strike on him, but I guess the problem and the other side of the coin is just his low XG overall. He got 0.31 XG per 90 on average over the course of last season. So just to put that into context, in a Premier League sense, that is exactly the same as Joshua Zirkzee got for Man United in the Premier League and Paul Onuachu got for Southampton. So that's one not quite a striker in an underperforming United side and one striker in the worst Premier League, one of the worst Premier League sides in Premier League history. So that doesn't really fill me with masses of confidence that he's a sort of single-minded goal scorer. And there's more numbers that kind of back that up. In his first season at Leipzig, he ranked among the highest players in the league for the proportion of touches he had in the opposition's box. But that dropped last season to about half of that. So it went from 17% to under 10%, around 9% of his touches in the opposition box. So he's become a more rounded player, but maybe he's not as much of an out-and-out goal scorer as perhaps Man United need or think they need, particularly in light of someone like Zirkzee not really succeeding there, and United fans getting quite frustrated about him sort of dropping away from the sort of traditional number 9 position a bit more than maybe they want. Šeško scored the had the lowest proportion of the top 10 scorers in the Bundesliga last season. He had the lowest proportion of his shots from inside the box, just 63%. He likes to shoot from distance. And as I say, check his goals out on YouTube. He can score absolute bangers from miles out. But maybe that's not really the most reliable source of goals. And what United want, certainly what United fans want, is someone to get in the box, get on the end of chances, do what Højlund and Xerxes haven't been doing.
Sticking with Leipzig, reports suggest that Chelsea are set to make an opening bid for Javi Simmons. They've already brought in an array of attacking talent this summer, including João Pedro, Jamie Gittins. How could you see Javi Simmons fitting into this Chelsea side?
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to say, isn't it? Like, looking at Chelsea's squad is always kind of like, how on earth are they going to get game time for all of these players? I personally don't think Simmons would necessarily be an immediate starter. He's obviously a very, very good player. But given he's been around for quite a while, he made his debut at 17, 5 years ago, I think it was, for PSG. So it feels like he's been around quite a long time. But he is only 22. He's still a bit of a rough diamond. And there's a lot to work with there. But he does, he's supremely talented, extremely confident, likes to make things happen or try and make things happen. But I do think there's some work to be done to make him into the player that Chelsea obviously want him to be. 17 goals or assists in the Bundesliga last season. It's a good return, very good return, but perhaps not sort of quite at the level, quite at the sort of return that you'd be hoping for from a winger for Chelsea on a consistent basis. Obviously, it's going to be a step up playing in the Premier League. He did play mostly on the left for Leipzig last season, but that was on the left side of a front three in a 3-4-2-1 formation. So it's kind of like a left 10, kind of like Ruben Amorim plays with United and how Conte played with Chelsea all those years ago. He did spend a lot of time coming into central positions, and whether he'd be able to do that for Chelsea is another issue, I guess, because Cole Palmer obviously takes up those kind of areas, and you don't really want to take anything away from Cole Palmer's game. He's definitely not an out-and-out winger like, I don't know, Gittins maybe is more, or Pedro Neto when he plays out there. I suppose Nicholas Jackson might be an option on the left as well. So it'd be interesting to see where he plays. He's also played on the right as well, but he does, again, like to come in field and affect the game in central areas.